So back to the Land Rover build. Next part is to build the spring sub-assemblies. So I've got the packs out. It doesn't actually tell you which is front and which is back. One is longer than the other, so I'm hoping that will become more obvious as I go through. I don't know if it's clear from the manual. It looks, that's the rear, that's the front, so it looks to me like the fronts are probably the shorter one, looking at that picture, so we'll go with that. Right, so I've picked out one of each size. I organised them into pairs because there's no indication on the spring as to which is which, and then just pick one out of each pair to build up the actual spring like that. And then what they suggest is either a cable tie or tape just to hold it all together until it's put on the actual vehicle. So I've got a wee bit of tape here, a bit of masking tape, a bit of striping tape, and I'll just stick some of that around it. They're quite oily, so I don't know how well this will actually stick. Okay. There we go. One spring. Okay. So I'll put the other one together, and then we'll see where we're at that point. So it is, that goes on the bottom, so 1, 2, 3. On the Land Rovers, people complain about the leaf springs being very harsh, so you get a very choppy, bumpy ride. They're actually not so bad if they maintain in good condition. What happens is that they become rusty because people don't maintain them, and then the leaves can't slide over each other in the way that they should, so they don't have as much give as they should. And so the ride becomes very, very harsh. If you keep them well oiled, then actually the springs work very, very well and are very comfortable. You can also put like silicone buttons between the springs to help with that. But I've found these springs to be perfectly compliant if they're well maintained. Of course, in 1983 they made the move onto coils with the introduction of the 110, and then a little bit later came the 90 on its coil springs as well. Just get those a bit better space. There we are. So that's 2 front leaf springs. I'm going to do the rears now. I'm really excited to watch. So we'll come back once I've done that. Okay, so that's all the springs assembled. I've got 2 rears, 2 rear sets, and 2 fronts. So move on to the next bit. So we've got the spring bouncing set next, which is a little bit more complicated. So I've got most of my parts out. I've not got them all out because there's quite a lot of little fiddly pieces, and then it's just a case of attempting to attach these on. So he goes with the flat end up there, and like so. He needs cleaning out there. So we did a file. Give him a bit of a ream. Okay. And he goes, oops, bummer. He goes on the front there like that, and the holes don't line up, so maybe he's a rear. Let's have a look. Okay, now I've only got single. Let's have a look. Oh, that lines up, so it must be that one. cunning process of elimination. And we want an M3 button, M3 by 20, which I had previously got ready. It goes through there like that. And then that needs an M3 nut on the other side. Oh, getting really tiny now. And I don't know if I've got a spanner small enough to actually do this up, so it may be a case of holding that in a set of pliers whilst I tighten him up. Right. Little tiny Allen key. He's a fiddly little bastard. He's on the right size. I'm struggling even for Allen keys at the right size. Everything's so small now, that's too big. The next one's going to be too small. I suspect, yeah. I've got some AF Allen keys here which might do the job. Let's have a look. Yeah, that'll do me. Cocking Nora. It's not easy. It's so little and fiddly. Actually, I can hold that nut reasonably well just with finger tightness. Okay, next one goes in there. And we want me a little nutty on the back. This is one of those things that you finish building it and then discover that later that you've actually used the wrong size in here and you have to go back and do it all over again. That would be quite annoying. Well, cock. Jesus, these are not easy. So tiny. Baby Allen key. He's probably... Cock, why is that the wrong size? Okay. He's probably ought to be thread locked actually, I reckon. So I might do that after. Just get the basic setup right. And we'll do them again and thread lock them in. So that's one of those done. As you can see him hopefully on there. So I'll put the other ones on and you can rejoin me once I've done it. So that's the suspension attachments done. We've got the front hangers and the rears. Although they look the same, the front and rears, the spacings are slightly different on the nuts. You can't actually get them mixed up, which is kind of handy. It's not that clear on the diagram which way round the rears are supposed to go, so I guess we'll find out when we put the springs on. And you've even got some super little bump stoppy type things, little rubber bumps and plastic bump stops to go on there as well. So that's all ready. Now I've just got to stick the springs on. That's my dear daughter bringing me some sweeties.
Yay!
Yay! That's my daughter. Who's also noisily dying in the background. So we've just hit upon a slight issue with doing the spring hanger. So that's the hanger. That's the pin that goes through, except it doesn't. And I've checked them all, none of them go through. So those are going to have to be reamed out. I'm probably going to have to drill them out. I've done it with a little bit with a file, but it's too much, needs to come off to be able to do that. So that's a bit of a pain in the bum. Those holes have been drilled undersized by a fair margin. So we'll come back later when I've done that.